And we are now live. The October 10th, 2014 Small Business Advisors, our Green Rope CRM demo today. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
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 Okay. Well, we have someone new here. Lars, would you like to talk a little bit? Tell us about you. Tell us about your product.
Sure, yeah. So the first part of this was going to be sort of an overview of the company and kind of where we come from and who we are, and then from then I was going to go into actually demoing the platform. So I can start there and do that, or do you want just like a quick overview of who I am, or?
Let's do a quick overview of who you are and how you came up with your business.
Okay. So my name is Lars Helgeson. I'm the founder of Green Rope. We are a privately held company. We started about 14 years ago, actually, as an email marketing company, and have just sort of grown from listening to people like you, learning what it takes to make software really useful for business. And when we started in email marketing, what we found was that we were able to help people do a lot of communication outbound, and we could learn a lot about the email side of things, but business is a lot more than just email. And I'm sure we all know, and you guys have a lot of experience in these different realms, that, you know, to run a business, there's operational things, there's social media, there's email, there's, you know, there's mobile, there's apps. I mean, there's all kinds of things. And so trying to figure out how do we simplify the way a business runs all of those different parts into a single piece of software. So that's really been the inspiration behind what we've tried to do, is to create a unified place to manage all the different information streams that are coming into a business.
And I see on your promo that your Green Rope has a whole bunch of strands that are twining together. Is that how you came up with the rope name, the Green Rope? Putting all of these pieces together and making them work together?
That's exactly it. Yeah. So the green is really for revenue and sustainability, and the rope is really about how you can create strength in a rope through having a lot of strands woven together. And
I like that.
Yeah, so the vision is the more things you connect your business to with Green Rope, the stronger your business is. And it, you know, it's not something that you do overnight. You know, implementing a CRM and marketing and operations and tying all these things together are not something that you just start doing and you're done in 5 minutes. You have to really take a hard look at your business, how it works, and the things you want to automate to make it work effectively. And that's kind of what I'll talk to you about sort of the methodology behind what we do. And hopefully we can I can show you a few examples that might inspire you to think about your business in doing your business a certain way.
Great, great. Are we ready for our demo, guys? Do we have any questions before we start off with? No? I'm going to start with one question. Do you integrate, you said that you integrate with QuickBooks. Do you integrate with QuickBooks Online and desktop?
We do. We integrate with both. We integrate with the contact data and the invoice data.
Nice.
Those are the important things that we felt for the first phase of our QuickBooks integration. Those are the things that we really had to do. So with the QuickBooks on-premise version, there's a file you have to add to your on-premise version to allow it to connect to our API.
And so when you call in-premise version, you're talking about the desktop?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, that's the desktop version.
Okay.
And then we had another company develop the online integration as well. So, and that's a separate one because we invested in building the on-premise ourselves, and so with your desktop or with your Green Rope account, you get the desktop version free. The online version we had another company developed for us, and the idea behind that was to do a monthly subscription to have that running. So and that all goes directly to the developer. We don't take any part of that, and that's $50 a month for that integration.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, I guess we are ready for the demo, and like I said, I'm going to ask all of our guys down here to mute so we don't have any background sounds, and when you get to a point that you want to pause and ask for questions, then we'll all unmute and ask our questions then.
Okay, great. Yeah, I very much look forward to giving this presentation and hearing what your feedback is. It's very much an interactive experience. We we started this business a long time ago, 14 years ago now, and it's really based on learning from people like you. So any and all feedback that you have, good or bad, is definitely appreciated. So I'll just start here by we'll go through this. This probably should take, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes or so just to go over what it is. So I'll start off first by talking about our mission. We've got in our little tagline is take command, create demand. And so to kind of understand why we do what we do, and really this makes sense because for our clients, they have to have the same vision to understand why it's important to actually have a CRM in place for your business. And so it comes in two parts. The first part is taking command of your business, and really that's through integrating the different parts of your business together and having the right support available so that when you're trying to figure out how you run your business and how do you connect all these different pieces together, that you're able to do it in a way that makes sense to you. You don't want to try and dive into a project that's so overwhelming or complex that you're not able to do it. So we help go through that whole process. We help a company figure out how their methods, what their processes are like, understand the pieces that they want to integrate together, and support them through it. When that works, we create demand. So we create demand for our products and services, whatever form that is. Sometimes it's a service that the client's offering. Sometimes it's a product that they're selling. Sometimes it's B2B. Sometimes it's B2C. But in all cases, it's all about creating demand for what that product or service is, and we want that to be a sustainable demand. So we're not doing this as a flash in the pan kind of. I'm going to buy an email list of 100,000 people and send it out and hope and pray that somebody sees it and buys my thing. It's all about creating the sustainable relationship, because that sustainable relationship creates sustainable revenue. And that's why we have, as you were talking about earlier, the concept of the green rope. All those different icons represent different functions that once you integrate into your business allow you to run more efficiently, more effectively, and give you more power over the way that your business is operating. We actually use Green Rope to run our own business, and so we're able to support roughly about 2,000 companies that use our platform with 18 people on our staff, and we couldn't do that if we didn't have a lot of these processes in place. So really the inspiration came for this whole idea it started way back in about 98 or 99. I was in the Air Force, and I'd been working for what is effectively the largest bureaucracy on the planet. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to make changes, and I knew that while we had a lot of resources in the military, we weren't really able to do everything that needed to be done because it was just too hard to do. There's too much momentum, too many things that had to change. And so I learned from that experience what it was like to work in a larger company and adapt that to a way to help meet the needs of small business. So for a couple of years, I lived on macaroni and cheese. I don't know if you guys are fans of mac and cheese, but I am. I've had my share. And from there evolved Green Rope. So we spent a lot of time learning and living sort of living the life of a startup to see what those struggles are like. To date, we've never taken on any seed funding or VC funding, so we've built this company from the ground up, similarly to how probably all of you are building your business. Having to figure out at first, when you're living on mac and cheese and working out of an apartment and trying to figure out, how do I work part-time to have enough funds to build this up, to create a client base, and then grow organically from that. That is the path that we took. And it's not an easy path, but I think it's one that we're able to get a lot of insight from because we've lived it, we've struggled through it just like our clients have. So really our goal here is to break through what are typically seen as barriers in the way businesses operate. typically, and generally, the larger the company, the bigger these walls. You've got sales teams, you've got marketing teams, and you've got operations teams, and they're doing their own thing. They think their own way, and typically they're using their own software. And when that happens, that data stays inside that functional element of that company. So a sales team might rely on a CRM and put in their notes, but trying to get information from the marketing team about how certain ads are working or how certain maybe click or website traffic or email traffic, how all of those things are happening and affecting sales, generally it's very difficult to measure if you don't have integrated software. And then the last part there are operations. And with operations, I'm meaning mostly customer service related operations, helping clients through things. Not so far, we don't go too far down the ERP path with Green Rope yet. We will someday, but for right now we focus primarily on the CRM marketing automations work. So all of our leads and customers interact with us in all these different ways. And we want to break all of that's a pretty cool graphic, right? We want to break through all of these barriers through the use of Green Rope. So I'm gonna give 3 stories that sort of outline the way this works and how it could work for you. So the first one is a small business. It's the Sonoran Desert Institute. They are an online university, and they needed to have a team of people that collaborated together, were able to automate their processes, and streamline their application and admissions process. Really what they wanted to do was grow. And so using our platform, they switched their entire university to run on our platform, and they, in 2 years, have grown 205%. They had no change in staff to do this, and most of their people are actually remote. So you know, this is a good case study of a small business being able to replace different fragmented pieces of software with one single piece, and it's made a significant difference in the way they do business.
Great.
Yeah, so the second story is about an agency.
I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you here for just a second, because all we're seeing is the one screen that says Green Rope. Are you actually going through the demo now?
Yeah, do you guys not see that?
Okay, now I'm at, okay. Story 2 now is up. Okay.
Okay, so could you not see the other slides?
No, I'm not sure why.
Okay. Let's see. So if I go like slideshow, if I go like this, can you see it?
Well, we're seeing story number 2, Make It Rain.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So it looks like they're looks like. Okay, well, let's see. So now you're probably seeing. Now, do you see it again?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's odd. I wonder why it's.
It's Google. We're used to this here.
Yeah, it's Google. Well, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it, since we have to use this slide here.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realize we weren't.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure where you were at in your slides either.
Oh, there we go. Here, see, there's the break on through with the little. See, and I don't want you guys to miss out on the macaroni and cheese, because I found that.
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Looks so good. All right. So here's the second story, and it's about how we were able to help a company it's an agency to help them with one of their clients. It was a print management company, and so they needed to do segmentation of their market. They needed to automate the way they do business. They needed to do channel and brand unity to make sure that their communication across their different platforms was very consistent. And ultimately, of course, they want maximum ROI. So they switched from a company called Pardot that does marketing automation and typically charges $1,000 to $1,200 a month or more. They saved 80% when they switched over. So that was a big deal for them, helped them a lot. The last story is one of another agency that services enterprise clients, and they liked our platform so much they became a reseller of it. They switched from Microsoft CRM to use our platform, and in 8 months it helped them grow over 200%. So what they really wanted to do was personalize content. So when they send an email out, it's personalized to who the recipient is. They wanted to have alerts and automation, so when their sales team was able to monitor when people were doing things. So we can track when people visit websites. And you'll see this a little bit later in the demo. They wanted to get alerts. They wanted to know what people were doing. And they wanted to be able to share that from sales to marketing and operations. And so altogether, that created efficiency and growth. And the actual end result was something very positive for them. So our vision is to be the go-to platform that powers the success of the world's small and mid-sized businesses. This is where we want to go. Currently, who we are now, we've got 37 resellers, about 2,000 accounts through them, and we've got 360-something direct accounts that come directly to Green Rope. You can see some of the things that we're affiliated with. We've been doing this for a long time. We're actually, this last year, we were ranked number 247 on the Inc. 500, which is the fastest growing companies in the country. These are some of the...
I'm sorry, it looks like you have a lot of accountants as clients also.
We do have some, yes, we do. And it's an important part of our market segment as well, because we want to help accountants understand, or be able to communicate with their clients and their leads and make it easier for them so that they don't have to spend as much time doing the manual day-to-day operations of managing their clients. So here are a few more of our clients, and this is generally how we serve them. It's really a collaborative experience. We help clients when they first come on board understanding strategy, and strategy can be either corporate strategy, business strategy, but really we like to focus a lot on the actual implementation strategy, because everybody's business and the way they think about it is a little bit different. So we spend a lot of time onboarding people, teaching them how our system works, and talking to them about how, especially for people that have never used a CRM before, understanding how do you apply the concepts of CRM to running a business. We have a lot of resources that are available, so we've got many hours of webinars, we've got videos, tutorials, cheat sheets, documentation, ebooks, everything. So for people that are really interested in learning more about how to get the most out of their CRM and marketing automation, we've got lots there. We also have creative services, so for people that are too busy, that don't really want to get into design, we have the ability to outsource our creative team, so that if someone needs help, say, designing an email template or designing a landing page or a form or whatever, our team is available to help with that as well. So, as you know, there are tons of different software packages out there. Most of you have probably heard of Salesforce, the 800-pound gorilla. A lot of people use Infusionsoft, and so what we like to do is look at the marketplace and provide value in a way that they can't, and that's something that sort of the advantage of being a small business is that we've been able to adapt to the market and create more value without necessarily creating more overhead. So overall, our platform is less expensive than what you'll find out there on the market. We're about half the price of Infusionsoft, depending on what you're looking at with Salesforce and other CRM platforms. Generally speaking, if you're going to try and replicate what we offer, you're going to spend about 4 to 5 times as much. So, and the reason for that is partially because you have to buy different third-party integrations to tie things together. So in other words, if you buy a CRM and then need to figure out how to do email marketing or marketing automation, you've got to figure out how to connect those two pieces together. And then when you start to add more things in, say if you run events or if you do project management or you do any number of different things that we offer, then you'll need to figure out how to connect that data together. And what we do is remove that need for that connection. So there's no need to get third-party integrations when we have everything built into Green Rope. We try to simplify the process of managing your business. Typically, setup takes about a week. Sometimes it takes longer, depends on the complexity of your business, and it's very easy to customize our platform to the way you do your business. Our design is the architecture of our system is designed to be very, that you can design exactly the kind of data you want to store, exactly how you want it to look, how you want to design your email communication, your landing pages, everything. We're very flexible. That kind of goes with that. We have a very broad feature set. We grow with your business. And as you start to get more into what the different pieces of what we do are, you'll find that it's very, very capable for what you're looking to do. On average, our clients that come on board grow 75% in 12 months. That was corroborated by an independent study.
Nice.
So everything you see is going to be in real time. The idea is that you want to be able to see up-to-date data, and so there's a big difference between a lot of data management platforms that will give you maybe a daily update versus one that when you come in and you're looking at your data, you know that this is right up to date, up to the second. And you'll see that when we do the demo, I'll show you with our own account that we use to manage our own business, how that information is truly up to date and very timely. We're very focused on service. With every new account, we do three 1-hour dedicated onboarding webinars, and then we also have weekly webinars that are available to everyone. Resources, white papers, blogs, ebooks. We've got free 24/7 chat, phone, and email support. And if you're really excited about our platform, you can white label our system, and we can create a clone of our platform in about a month. And that allows you to basically take Green Rope under your own brand and resell it. And we've got 36 companies worldwide that do that. So when you look at all the things that you want to do with our platform here, you can see sort of a summary. There's a lot more, actually, than what you even see here. But just rest assured that as you get into this, there is a lot of capability built into Green Rope. Now, I don't want to overload you with all the things that it can do, because a true demo of getting into all the different features can take hours. But I'll show you the summary of some of the things that use it for in a way that you might find parallels with the way you would run your own business. So let me, so I'm going to switch this. I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to go to the Google Hangout here, and I'm going to switch my screen.
Okay, we're back to seeing you.
Okay. Are you back to seeing me? All right, let me see if I can do the Google Hangouts. Let's see, let's share this window here.
Okay.
Okay, so now you're probably looking at yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay, now how about that? Can you see that?
We see your dashboard, yes.
All right, perfect, great. So what I'm showing you here is an account that's got a lot of data in it. This is how we manage our own business. So you can sort of get a sense of all the different pieces of the puzzle that are tied together and how we're able to automate this. What you see on the top here is our dashboard, or this is our dashboard screen. We've got navigation along the top with all the different functions you can go to. We have different groups here. We use groups to segment our list. Our groups to segment our contacts into different groups. And with groups, there are a lot of things you can do. You can create a website for every group. You can create a forum. There's a lot of things you can do with the groups themselves to segment your information. This here, so this is gamification. This is something we do to get people to see how to use more of the platform. And then here we're monitoring our reputation, looking at the emails that we've sent out. So remember, we come from email marketing as our very, very first thing that we did. So it's something we're very strong in, we're very deep in. And so we're very good at delivering a lot of emails, and so we can very easily replace a MailChimp or a Constant Contact. But that's just one part of what we do. So here you see our calendar. And in our calendar, here's today's date. I can see events that are happening here today. And so we've got a full calendaring system that you can use to manage events. You can collect money from registration. You can there's all kinds of things that you can do with events. You can set it up as a booking calendar. You can schedule appointments, all of that in one place.
Nice. So the booking calendar, can you put that on your website and anybody can go in and book an appointment?
Absolutely. That's how it works. So you would set up different kinds of appointments that you could have, and you can have you can block it out however you want. Any days that you want, any number of hours that you want, the different types of appointments people can book, and you can collect money for them right on the spot. So this is, down here, we're getting into the CRM activities. So for those of you who have worked with CRM, generally you'll see that there's probably a lot of similar concepts carried over from different types of CRMs. Most CRMs are focused on the ability to manage a relationship. And so we're looking at this. We'll pull up David Arneback. So I'm not familiar with, I know who David Arneback is. He's one of our clients. But we're going to look up here in real time and see everything that we can learn about him. So here we can see different actions, different activities that have been assigned to him. So I can see there's a follow-up that's scheduled 45 days from now. Here's another follow-up that's scheduled 31 days, 24 days. And so we can go back here and we can see different follow-ups. Now we can go back, and here's one of the nice things about having everything in one place is now, so let's say that someone needs to do a follow-up with somebody, they can look up and they can get information about someone. So now I can look up here and I can see that this person was sent an email and they read it 3 times. I can see they were sent another email here. I can see that they had a chat, and if I want to format this in a way that's easier to read, this is kind of a long chat, but if I wanted to format this, I can see he had a chat. Here's his whole conversation with Austin, talking about what he needed to talk about. So here we can see.
Actually a live chat, or did they type this in?
This is live chat. So we integrate with Olark to do that. So you put that on your website, and if you go to, if we went to the Green Rope website, you'd be able to see the live chat button there. So here we had a meeting. Here we had an email that was sent. Here we see he visited a website. More chats. He answered a survey. So we can see his responses here. More responses, follow-ups, traffic. So there's a lot here, but this is all available to us whenever we need to. One of the main reasons why we have a CRM is to make sure that we can keep track of all of our ongoing conversations. So here we have website traffic, email traffic, we've got video, we can track when people watch videos, we've got drip campaigns that have been sent to him. So there's a lot of content here that's available to help us understand who this person is and what they're really about. And you can see there's a lot here. We're tracking conversions. So there's a lot here when we look at a contact. From here, we can send a trackable email. So I can go here and send a personal email right to him, right from here. And so I can build an email. I can send him whatever I want, send it to him, and it'll be trackable. Meaning we'll know when they open it, when they click on something. We can also research him. So we've got an integration with a company that will look up a contact and we'll be able to find information about that contact purely based on their email address. So we can look here, and we've got some basic data. We know he's in Minnetonka, but we can go down here and we can look at certain things like...
So you can find out if somebody's a serial killer before you hire them?
Well, this helps. We're able to automatically pick up his Facebook URL from here. Let's see what else we're able to pick up here. So here we have a Foursquare URL. We have a picture. We can be creepy and find out what this guy looks like. There he is. That's a small picture, but he's an MMA guy. So there's all kinds of, let's see what else we were able to pick up. I think that's all we were able to get from him. But we automatically do that research whenever somebody fills out a form. And so that helps you if you've got a lead site, we look up to see if there's publicly available information that matches any of these fields. So you can see all the fields that we're able to collect for you automatically. So all helping you do sales. So that's our CRM. Down here we're tracking conversions. So conversions to us in the marketing world mean that somebody did something of value to us. And what we see here is the value of conversions. Right now we're tracking new clients that have come in and how much revenue they represent. So I can see here at a glance, yesterday we picked up 2 new clients and they represented $268 a month in recurring revenue. Here I had an account set up, $498 paid for account setups. So this is how I'm able to track the amount of revenue that we're collecting and we're growing every month or every day through looking at this. Here I can see a bunch of KPIs for those of you who have played in this space. Key performance indicators are a good way to understand the health of your business. So one of the things that we're measuring here is the amount of revenue. So I know that my company has grown as a manager. I can look at this and say my company's recurring revenue has grown by $20,000 a month in the last 30 days. So that's good for us because that I'm able to see how am I performing relative to the past, and how am I doing now? Is this a good number for me? So here I have store transactions. So we have the ability to create a storefront and sell products and services right from within the Green Rope account. And so you can sell blocks of time if you want. You can sell products or services. You can sell software. You can sell things for download like white papers or PDFs. You can have your clients pre-purchase whatever products or services you would like through a store. And so this is a way to measure that. Opportunities are a CRM thing that's mainly used for B2B, but generally being able to keep track of where people are in purchasing very expensive items from you. So you may go through multiple phases of opportunities. So you may go, and I'll show you what it looks like a little further down here. But the ability to track bigger opportunities as they go from phase to phase, and hopefully become deals at the end. Here we're tracking email volume, and down here we're tracking website volume. Here we see website visits. The green are people that we know, people in our database, people in our CRM that are visiting our websites. Here we've got people filling out sign-up forms. This is just a simple histogram of the number of contacts in each of our groups. Here we can see a summary of the emails that we've sent out, how many we've sent on a particular day. Here's our event management system. We can see we had a tech review this morning. This is actually an internal tech review that we did this morning. And here are some opportunities. So for those of you who have ever worked with or heard of a company called Pipedrive, this is a very similar type of application. This allows you to monitor the way your opportunities are flowing from phase to phase. So this is how we track our resellers. We use our pipeline here to manage our opportunities, manage our resellers. So if I wanted to move this person here, I could very easily do that, just like that. So now I've moved this person from qualified lead to prospect. And I can go back here. Google likes to make things a little difficult on my computer, but if I click on this, then I can go directly to the CRM for this record, and I can take a look at all the things that have been happening here. I can see all the different actions, the activities. I can see here's our opportunity, and so there's a lot of information here that we're able to gather just at a glance. Down below here, we've got our CRM activities completed. So this helps me as a manager keep track of what people are doing. So I can look and I can see the number of activities that are being done. And so if I wanted to switch this to yesterday, I want to see who was busy yesterday. I can see all the activities that were done by everybody yesterday. And then if I want to do the last 7 days, I can do that. So this allows me to go in and see details. So, but if I wanted to see, there Austin had 45 live chats. That may be a lot. But if I wanted to look and see, here's Darius had, let's see if I can get right on here. Here we'll get a different one. So Matt had 13 presentations. I can see what his 13 presentations were in the last week. So you can tell as a business manager, being able to see this kind of visibility into what my team is doing and who's doing what. And if I want to dive into this and I can see Matt did a demo for Jamie Johnson and I want to find out what's happening with Jamie Johnson, I can pull this up and I have all this information available right here at my fingertips. So, and there again you see website traffic, email traffic, presentations, left message, phone calls, support tickets, all that. And the last part that you'll see below this is a custom widget. So on your dashboard, you can create custom things that you can put on your widget. This is something called Facebook Facepile. So it just puts all the people that like your product or that like your page on it.
Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to unmute now, and does anyone have any questions?
How does this work for a small business with one person who is potentially looking to expand?
Yeah, so that's a good question. We have a lot of solopreneurs that use our platform. it really, it takes a little bit longer to implement all the different pieces, just simply because there's a lot more stuff to do. But the idea is that if you put this in one place, you're not hunting around for data anymore. So it's when I give a talk to universities every now and then, and I've got there's a great quote by Abraham Lincoln, where he says, if you're going to give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'm going to spend 4 sharpening the axe. And really what it's about is spending the time up front to do that. So once you get set up and you have these systems in place, it becomes much, much easier for you to run your business because you're not hunting around for data anymore. A lot of... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, where is the data stored? I know you have it here in your dashboard, but where is the data actually stored? Many of my contemporaries use Evernote or Dropbox or a smaller filing system, which is very basic compared to what you have here, because you've got everything here. You've got social media, you've got the emails, you've got the chats, you've got everything.
Right. So so the idea is to be able to look at a contact. If I wanted to call up this Eric person and I wanted to assign a file to him, I can do that right from here. I can say, I'm going to add a file. I'm just going to associate this file with Eric, and I can just add it right there. If I want to send him an invoice or a quote, I can do it right from here. I can build my invoice and send it right from here. And so having all that flexibility built into one platform means that now you don't have to rely on connecting those pieces of information together. And that's really the main goal here, is to make it simpler for you to do this as a solopreneur, removing the pieces that you have to do yourself. So, and a lot of that is, when you're moving data back and forth from Excel, or you're trying to use Outlook as a CRM, you're trying to remember what was the last thing I said to this person so that I can have a meaningful conversation with them. That can be challenging because you don't necessarily remember all the things that your contacts did. And a lot of times you don't have insight into the things that you really wouldn't be able to tell, like, is this person actually visiting my website? Am I getting an alert when I have somebody visiting my website? So let me see if I can pull up something here, see if we've gotten any alerts here in the last here. Do we have any alerts? Alerts. No, so...
my invitation to the Hangout there in the corner.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Does it work with Volusion?
With what? What is it?
I sell software on a Volusion website.
Yeah, so the way it works is if you can control the content of that page and the thank you page, then you have the ability to set up automation and tracking around people visiting that page. So you don't necessarily, if you sell on Volusion, you can also create your own store right from here. So if you
get rid of Volusion, in other words.
Yeah, if you wanted, you could do that if you wanted to. So you in here, you can go in and you can build your own website, and it's a matter of, it just takes a couple minutes to set it up. You just go in and you say, when there's not, the hamsters in my computer are very tired with trying to run Google Hangout. But you pick a design, and so we can change our design. Here, and you'll see it'll redraw. So we change our design. We can choose our colors and stuff. And then we can go to a store. We can add products and services. We create new items. Here, it's very, very simple to do. All you do is you put in your PayPal, and if you have authorized.net, then you can use authorized.net as well.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Yeah, and so authorized.net's great because you can do recurring payments. You can have people pay for things up front with forms, the whole thing. There's a lot of flexibility into that. PayPal doesn't have quite that much flexibility built in, but authorized.net's great, and that's how we set it up. And there's a lot of automation built around that. I'll show you, once you get set up, you get your data in, you get your contacts loaded, and you start doing things, you can start to do automation. And marketing automation is one of these sort of relatively new terms that's kind of hit the internet. HubSpot is a big brand that does some of this, Pardot, Marketo, all these companies that charge you $1,000 plus to use their concepts of marketing automation, you have built into your Green Rope account. So you can see here we've got some built into our forms. So we've got forms that we can put on pages. And from there you can see that being added to a form can trigger a drip campaign. Drip campaigns are just sequences of emails.
Right.
They can also trigger workflows. Workflows are sequences of activities, of actions. So if someone goes to a page, maybe they fill out a form, and that can trigger something else. So here someone has gone to the page, they're going to get this sequence of drip campaigns, these emails that are sent to them every day. And then here you can see here's a workflow that someone had a new trial. They're going to be initial contact by our sales manager and then another follow-up scheduled 5 days later. So we have support ticketing, which is a really useful way that you can use to run your business, particularly when you're a small business trying to make sure that if someone has an issue that you're able to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. So a support ticketing form is a form that you use to have someone say, I have an issue with this product or this service, or I have a question with whatever. And it means that when someone fills it out, there's an area in our system where you can manage the ticket. You can make updates to that ticket. You can keep following up with them, making sure that nothing falls through the cracks. And so this is what you see here. You've got the different actions that you can set up with people filling out this form. You can have versions assigned. You can have different actions assigned. There's a lot of things you can do. You can automatically add people to groups. And because they're added to groups, you can have certain things happen automatically. So there you can see some sequences there. Here you can see web pages, people going to pages, and then up to filling out forms. Here you've got purchases. You were talking about having your own purchase. One of the things, or your own store. One of the things that Volusion won't be able to do is have something trigger something automatically when someone buys something from you. So what we can do is we can say if someone buys a product or a service from you, that can automatically trigger something to happen. Maybe it's a follow-up phone call. Maybe it's an email to them. Maybe it's you have to do something on your side. All of that is managed automatically here. So this gives you total flexibility in what happens when somebody buys something from you.
So if you're a reseller, you can set it up to send out key codes.
Exactly. Whatever you want. So down here we've got conversions. Conversions do the same thing. Conversions, like I said before, are how you can track people doing something of value to you. So maybe somebody buys something from you, and then maybe they download a white paper, or maybe they do anything. Then that can trigger certain things to happen as well. We have a survey engine built in. Go ahead.
I was going to ask if we could talk about QuickBooks Integration. We've got about 15 minutes left of our hangout, and I kind of I'm interested in knowing how you work with QuickBooks and the invoicing. You had also said in your demo that you can put on payment links. Who do you use for the payment links? What merchant service do you use?
So for all of that, you'll want to use authorize.net. So, which of course can go through any provider. So we use authorize.net through I think a company based out of Florida, but they're everywhere. Authorize.net is everywhere. So you can create for any contact. We'll just call up a contact here. See if we have a Google Hangout is making my computer go real slow. But we can go here, and we're pulling up contacts here. Looking at contacts. I think I have one set for me here. And here I can add cards on file here. So once I add a card on file, then I can charge it here automatically. Or I can set up a payment plan. I can do everything right from here. I can also do that through the storefront, and I can also do that through a form. So all of those things are taking credit card data, storing it in our system. So we're not actually storing the credit card. Authorize.net stores the credit card data, but we store the ability to access that credit card and charge for you. And so all you do is you would put in your card information, and we throw that over to Authorize.net, and then whenever you need to charge that insured, then you have the ability to do that right from here. And the same goes with sending quotes and invoices.
So
An
you
invoice,
send an invoice out of QuickBooks. What does it come over here? Does it sync that way?
Yes, yes. So if you send your invoice out of QuickBooks, then that will come over as well. The nice thing about sending an invoice from here is that when you send it, it's trackable, so we'll tell you when it's been read, and you can customize your invoice here. Now, of course, if you're doing all your accounting and everything in QuickBooks, then you might not want to build your invoices directly within here. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. So the way it works, though, let me pop over here to import.
If you come in from QuickBooks, you can't track it.
Correct. That's because QuickBooks is going to be sending it out yourself through your own QuickBooks.
Through Outlook or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
So if you send an invoice from here, does it sync back to QuickBooks?
If you build your invoice here, I don't believe we have it go to your QuickBooks yet.
Okay.
So it only comes. So the way it works, though, you choose which contacts, which groups you want to have available. You check these boxes, and you get the QWC file, and then you put that in your QuickBooks on your on-premise or on your desktop, and then that will do the link up between QuickBooks and Green Rope.
Got it.
That's how that works. I actually don't have QuickBooks on this computer. My CFO does, so he's the one that does that for us.
All right. Got it.
Person in charge of the finances. Okay. So you actually do the invoicing out of Green Rope. So my next question was, do you work with Bill.com? But if you're not sending invoices to QuickBooks, I imagine you wouldn't be sending it to Bill.com either.
Correct. Right. So for us, if we send an invoice, we just send it directly out of here, directly to the contact, and
Right.
we have them pay directly from here.
Okay, got it. Got it. And so my last question, you had mentioned that you do have resellers.
We do, yes.
Do you have anything like an advisor program?
We do. So the reseller program is a little bit more involved because that's basically taking what you see here and changing the Green Rope icon, changing this domain to be your own domain. Essentially, it's a whole business setup that's a mirror of Green Rope. So we do that for companies that have very large distribution networks. You know, lots of companies, like agencies that may have 10 or 20 clients that they want to use our platform. They want to have using our platform under their brand. For an environment where you've got maybe an advisor, we have a promotional code program. What that means is that you would give your clients a promotional code, and they would get a percentage discount, and you would get a percentage recurring revenue from that.
Got it.
So generally what we say is you have 20% to split, and it's up to you how you want to make that split happen. Most people say 10% and 10%, so they give their clients a 10% discount, and then they keep a 10% commission, but it varies. Some people they're all over in that split.
Did you say it could parcel out key codes for downloaded software?
Yeah, so you can have downloadable software on our system, and it's automatic. So you would just upload a file where you're going to store files in your media library, and you would just put them in there, and then for download, then you would be able to track the people that are doing those downloads, and everyone who buys the ability to download it gets their own unique link. And you can limit the number of times they can download it. So you could say, you get your own unique link, and then you would see when they had downloaded it. When they do, then you could have certain things automatically happen. Maybe they get a series of emails that are sent to them with surveys or whatever you want. you have the ability to do that, and that's all bundled and included inside your Green Rope
The
account.
problem with Volusion is it doesn't know from authorized.net if I got my money or not. So it will send in an order, and I have to pull the trigger for them to be able to download. And I actually would pull the trigger so fast I didn't even know that's how it worked until I went on vacation. And people can get their software. So I want it seamless. I want them to pay, and if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, they get their key code.
Yeah. Yep. And that's how we do it. So you would go to your media library, and you would add the file.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could just pick a folder and whatever you call it, whatever you want. You go here. You would add your file here, and then once you add it, then you would go to your store.
Mm-hmm.
Manage your website. You would go to your store. And then you would go to store. You would just create your item. And then you would just have down here at the bottom, you would just have the URL of what you want to have purchased.
Okay, so Volusion has a FTP site. I'd have to have my own storage for my...
No, you just put it in your media library and you're good. All you gotta do is
got a media library. Okay, yeah.
Yep, so you add the file
I didn't
there.
realize that you were full-blown. That's interesting. I have years worth of history in Volusion, and their CRM is horrible. Is there any way I can somehow get that? Do you know, or I can talk to you later, but.
If you can export your data out of any system, we can import it. So if you have your CRM data in a file that we can put into, say, Excel, if you can do anything that you can do with, with your contact data to put it into Excel, then we can import it into our platform.
Okay.
Great. So in the last 5 minutes, I guess let's talk about price.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an important consideration.
There are costs. Very important.
Tens of thousands. Want us to push it. Dennis's question also. I think this will just take a moment. Is Green Rope SaaS application? If so, what kind of security does it have?
Right.
Yes. So it is software as a service. It's designed so when you log in, it's all over SSL. Our data itself is backed up in our data center, actually in 3 different data centers, all with very, very strict physical security. We're right next to banks and all that stuff in our data center. So we use state-of-the-art firewall protection, encryption protection. Our data is all encrypted in place, so there's no way to obtain the data. All access to it is done over VPN for our development team, and it's like 2048-bit VPN. So there's really I hate to say like there's no way to get your data because people will get data from the Pentagon, but we work very, very hard to make sure that we have the tightest encryption and security that we can possibly have. It's a very important thing for us, and we've been doing this for 14 years. Companies rely on us for the security of their data. It's a very important thing. One thing I will say that is different from us and the way that you'll probably see other CRMs is we do not charge user. Most CRMs will charge you per user. We have the ability to set you up, or you can set up as many different users as you want and give them as many different access level rights as you. So if you're working in an environment where you've got multiple people, so for example, maybe you're working and you only want to give people the ability to do certain things, this is how you're able to set those different permissions. So these permissions allow you to allow someone to work with you without them being able to say, email all of your clients or access all of your accounting data or whatever. So you have all of that built into your platform and you don't pay more for it. So which kind of folds into our pricing discussion here. So let me pull up our pricing page and you'll see how we set this up. So we don't charge per email sent, we don't charge per user. We don't charge for all the features that you saw. There are a few additional charges if you do SMS marketing, because that requires us to pay a third party. Then you have to pay that third party for that. But essentially everything is included, and it's all based on the number of contacts. And here you can see on your screen how that's broken out. And so what we wanted to do is make it an affordable, reliable type of situation where you can go in and say, I'm a business, this is going to scale with me as I grow, and you use this to manage all of your business. You're in Green Rope every day. This is how you manage your contacts, this is how you manage your communication, this is how you do everything that you do day to day.
I can have the website at the starter level?
Uh-huh. Everything is included.
Wow.
Do you have an annual fee for the SSL?
No, it's all included.
Well, there's $100 right there.
Yeah.
And how long is the monthly? How long is the trial?
14 days.
Oh.
How do your customers learn how to use this software? This is very intense. I mean, is it just videos, or do you have webinars? How do we learn how to use it?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, because you're right. There is a lot here, and there's that famous expression, "How do you eat an elephant?" Well, you don't want to eat an elephant, but if you did, it would be.
I know it's one bite at a time, but the problem is, where do you? I look at this and I go, oh great, where do I start?
So that's
I guess it depends on whether you want to start at the front or the back.
Yeah. So that's why we focus so much on our onboarding process. Whenever somebody comes on board, those 3 hours of dedicated go-to-meeting time really focus on getting you up to speed on how the system works. So, and part of that's talking about strategy. You know, what data are you going to have with each contact? How many groups are you going to create? What are they going to be for? Are you going to share access? So we've got people that focus, this is all they do is train you. Now, on top of that 3 hours of dedicated go-to-meeting time, we've got webinars that we do every week that are open, so you can ask questions as you go through it every Thursday afternoon. We also have recorded webinars that you can watch at any time. We have a totally searchable knowledge base here. Let me call this up here so you can see what it looks like. Our Help Center has lots of video that you can watch when you want to. It's totally searchable through all of this. We've got cheat sheets that you can download, tutorial videos, all kinds of ebooks that you can learn about. We have a blog on our front website that you can read through. So there's lots and lots of things that you can do to make your business stronger, to get more educated about business in general, how to use Green Rope, everything. So we're really focused on education because we know that education is the greatest predictor to success when implementing software like this.
You said you're 14 years old. How many of the people on your team are in there pretty much the 14 years, other than yourself?
Well, I'm 42, so.
Oh, you worked on it before those 14 years. Okay.
Yeah. So the majority of our people have been here for about 5 or 6.
Okay.
We have a few that are a little bit younger than that. We've got a few that are a little bit older than that.
Okay.
So, you know, the majority of our growth recently has been in the last few years because we've had some changes in strategy and some corporate changes. I had a business partner that I don't have anymore, so I'm able to kind of create exactly what I want. And so I think that's really helped us to build the environment for growth. Right. And you know, I mean, we've grown pretty substantially in the last few years, and I think a lot of that is because we've been so focused on that educational onboarding part, and because we're getting better at explaining how to do all these things and helping companies through. Because it's not just about using software; it's about showing them how to actually put together their business.
Yeah.
If I were teaching classes and I wanted people to come on and sign up for a class, and could I limit it to 10 people and then each one of those becomes a contact, so those would add. Okay.
Yeah, so this is our whole. We've got a full event registration program. So if I want to go here and I can look at any particular event, I can call this up and I can look at an event and I can say, here are the things that I want to do. Here's the event, when it starts, when it ends, where it is, special guests. We can have automatic reminders. We can collect money here. We can go in.
That's a lot of features.
Yeah,
You
yeah, we
use
can survey
meeting.
them. So yeah, we do have an integration with GoToMeeting, so that if you do run a GoToMeeting, it will pull those contacts in from GoToMeeting right into your account here.
So some of the things you were showing us, I think you have to have another account with another product, like the what was the first thing I saw? Was the chat, live chat.
Yeah, that's the only thing really. Yeah, so live chat requires a OLARC as an integration. They're an integration partner for us. That's the only really other thing.
What are you saying? Lark?
OLARC, O-L-A-R-K.
OLARC.
So if you go down here, see this down here in the bottom corner?
Mm-hmm.
If I go, yeah, this is,
Okay.
Got it.
that's what pulls that in. And if you have the resources to do it, to have someone, or if you're on your computer all day anyway, this is a cool way to gather leads. Because, I mean, and this is a great way for us to gather leads. People will chat before they'll call. And
That's
sort of,
true.
Really? I hate
That's true. I do that too.
yeah, it's weird.
They won't read the website or read the frequently asked questions or the manual. They'll call and say, "Does it work with QBO?" And I'm like, "I put that everywhere. Why are you calling me, man?" So.
Yep. So it's just another channel that some people are more comfortable with doing to find out.
Interesting.
Sometimes I'm so mad that I don't want to talk to anybody on the phone. And chatting is the best way to do what I got to do.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's what you want to do as a business owner. You want to make this something that's easy, no matter what kind of person you're talking to.
Now I have a quick question. If you do the starter package, and for whatever reason you're doing it well and everything is going, all of a sudden your contacts go from 1,000 to 2,000 or up, does it automatically roll you into the next plan? Like, do you get that extra? Like, how does that transition work?
Warn you?
Does it warning you're going to be at 1,000?
Delete all contacts? Yeah.
Yeah, like AT&T, they just send me a text and say, well, we're hitting you with $15 because you went over your data usage. So,
yeah,
how does that
Good
work?
question.
that's a good question. So what we do to protect ourselves, and it protects you as well. We have a limit.
I got a mute.
Is everybody there okay? Everybody okay?
Yeah, wait, there's a choo-choo in the background.
Oh, okay.
Choo-choo time.
So what we do is we protect your account so that you can't add more contacts than you have paid for unless you talk.
Oh, okay.
So we do that. Now, we're never going to prevent you from going over that, but one of the reasons why we do that is to protect you from, say there was somebody else that came to us and they were not a reputable company. They could sign up for like the 1,000 contact plan, and then maybe they purchased a list of spam addresses for 100,000 contacts.
Oh.
Right? If we didn't have that, if some way to block that in place manually, then we could be at risk for sending out spam. So it's something that we do. And in so doing, then when you hit one of those limits, you'll say, oh, I guess looks like I'm up against this limit. I'm going to go up to the next plan, and then it's up to you. You can say, we'll know when you do it, but you'll add a contact, and they'll say, hey, we don't want to add this contact unless you say that, yes, this is actually what I want to do.
Okay.
Can we delete off the old leads that we don't need and get our numbers back down?
Of course. Yeah.
We're frugal.
Although in reality, I would not recommend doing that because a lot of times old leads can resurface again, and having something in the database that keeps that relationship intact is really useful, especially if you're sending emails to them. They may not take action this month or next month, but maybe 2 or 3 months from now they will, and we'll have a cookie set on their browser, and you'll know when they're visiting the website. So you can get an alert that says, here's this lead that I haven't talked to in 6 months that all of a sudden is now on my website. Maybe they're worth following up with.
Because I was thinking about at least using it for my accounting firm just to converse with the client base that I already have. I've got two different things going: the software database and then my regular accounts. But sometimes I'll get a just a lead on a real quick cleanup job, and so I may never see them again. But
yeah.
How would you handle that, Lars, if there's two companies like that?
So we do it with groups. So you would go in.
I was thinking when I saw that, I was thinking I still have one corporation, but I'm having like two divisions. So if I can keep the two contact lists separate, that'd be it looked like you had.
Okay.
You absolutely can. So you would have down here in this groups list, you would have the different divisions, and contacts can be members of multiple groups. So, which is kind of a nice thing to help you be able to say, I'm going to send a blast out. Maybe you want to hit an email to everybody, but maybe you want to hit an email to only one, or maybe the other one, or maybe
a board of directors, or
exactly. So you can segment your list however you want. You can create groups. You can create an unlimited number of custom user-defined data fields with every contact. You can create custom fields for every company. So there's a lot of flexibility, and this is where our education, our onboarding comes in, is so important, because we want to help you figure out how do you want to parse your data, how do you segment your different market segments.
Absolutely, setup is critical here, I can tell.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier there is no like a pro advisor type where you get a special blah blah blah. It's more a discount, a 10% off kind of thing.
If you're a reseller.
No. So we would give you a promotional code.
Okay.
So you can just email in what you want your promotional code to be.
Okay.
And then you would give that code to someone, and then when they go and sign up for their Green Rope account, then they could use they would use your code, and that code would give them a discount, and it would give you recurring commission every month. And it's up to you to determine how you want to do that 20% split. You can give them a 5% discount and keep the 15% commission, however you want to do it, but it's recurring.
Okay.
Nice. Well, I think we've gone over our time limit a little. This was a fantastic demo. Lots to think about. Thank you very much, Lars. Happy to have you here. Maybe we could have you back next year sometime.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about Green Rope. We've learned a lot over the last 14 years about business and, marketing and setting up CRMs, all that. So, I'm happy to be a resource for any of you, and of course, if you want to check out Green Rope, I'm more than happy to have you do it. There's no risk, no obligation. We're not a high-pressure sales organization. You'll notice we have no contracts. So if you're not happy with us, then I don't want to hold your feet to the fire. I want people using Green Rope because they get a lot of value out of it, and that's how we've grown our business from the very beginning. So,
do you need a credit card for the trial?
Nope.
That's smart. I like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's. I believe in starting relationships with an open hand. To me, it's about trust, and when you request a trial, you actually get a 30-minute demo free.
Yeah.
Then you get a free trial account for 14 days, and as it turns out, 45% of people who create trial accounts become clients. That's 3 times the industry average, and I think that's for a pretty good reason.
Nice. Thank you very much.
One quick question. Do you have any data on the 14-day period if someone jumps in there and they are able to increase business or do anything, or is that 14 days really setting up and training?
Well, the trial really is about poking around and seeing if you like what you see when you're working within the system.
Okay.
Once you get on board and you actually create your account and say, yes, I'm going to be a client, then we schedule the 3 onboarding sessions, and then and of course you can always access the online help and the videos and the files and everything that you want. But really, it's up to you. We have some people that get up and running in a week. We have some people that get up and running in a month or two. It depends how serious they are about getting implemented and how complex their business is.
Yeah, it took me forever to get my Volusion website just the way I wanted it. So, it was easy to get it on, but then it was, complicated to tweak the pages and everything. So, yeah, I look forward to playing with it.
Timing is so key, because had we got this demo in the summer, I would have been like, okay, this works. But it's September, end of the year, tax time.
I'm in the middle of my biggest audit, yeah. But
give me
3 weeks. Give me 3 weeks, because I need to solve it. Because once I get past this period, it's going to be next summer before I can tackle anything else.
Yeah,
We'll
same
have
for
to have
me.
Lars back next summer then. There we go. Problem solved.
And that's always the biggest problem for any entrepreneur or business owner, is finding the time to work on your business as opposed to working in your business.
Absolutely.
It's really about working on your business.
Absolutely.
And setting up the automation and setting up the information so that you don't have to work as hard to do what you do every day.
Yeah. Well, you're a very good presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Lars. So we're going to end, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you so much, Lars. Wonderful demo. We'll have a link on the event page to your trial, and we'll see you all next week.
Great.
Bye.
See you next
Have a great
week.
weekend, everybody.
Bye.
Wow.